students, welcome to Advanced GIIT e-learning portal. So dear students, in our previous class, we have learned payroll, like how do we calculate the salary of employees, okay, the benefit that they get from the company, like dearness allowance, house rent allowance, provident fund. So how to perform all this calculation, we have already covered in our previous class. So in today's class, we are going to learn how to calculate the percentage of marks, grade of students. So our exercise is based on ascertaining the percentage, grade, and marks of students. Okay, how do we ascertain it? So let's begin our topic for today. So it's a well-known fact that teachers tend to use Microsoft Excel a lot, especially when it comes to keeping grades and test scores. So it means Microsoft Excel is mostly used by the teachers when it comes to make or create a mark sheet or ascertain the grade and test scores of students. Okay, so in that case, you find that teachers tend to use Microsoft Excel a lot. Keeping track of students' record is increasingly easy with Excel. Now, if teachers do manually and do use the calculator to calculate the records of a huge number of students, then it will be quite hectic, isn't it? So, in that case, teachers can use this Microsoft Excel software to make the work easy. It's also a great for achieving old grades and scores for future reference. We can also keep the records of grades and scores of students for future reference. Like old records also we can keep it nicely in Excel software. So this Excel software is of great use, like it makes your works faster. You can easily ascertain the grade and percentage of the students and the scores of the students that they have scored in a particular subject just at a click. So we need to know how to perform all these calculations. Suppose if you are a teacher and you use Excel as a grading sheet, you might want to find out what your students' average grades and test scores. So if we want to find out the average grade of the student, then with the help of the Excel software, easily you can do it. Okay. Students' marks calculation. It is useful for school and college students to keep track of their overall percentage scores. Now, like it is very important to keep a track record of the students, like which students is doing well in a particular subject, so we can easily ascertain it with the help of the Excel software. With the tools that we have, we can easily ascertain the performance of the students, and we can keep a track record of overall percentage of scores scored by the students. Now, what does total mark means? Total mark means the total mark obtained by the student out of the maximum marks. Suppose if the total mark is 100 in a particular subject, out of that total, if the student has obtained 90, then that is his total mark. If out of 100 the student has obtained 80, then that is his total mark. Okay. This is the exercise that we will be covering today. In this exercise, you can see that students' names are given and the score of the student in different subjects are given, and some columns are left blank because it is you who has to find the solution. Like total marks you have to find, percentage of marks you have to find, then you have to create a remark, and you have to find maximum and average of all subjects. Okay, so as I say, you have to find the total marks, and it is also mentioned that the maximum mark in each subject is 100. As you can see here, how many subjects are given? Here 4 subjects are given: English, Math, Science, and Social Studies. So in each subject, the total mark is 100. Okay, so if there are 4 subjects, then entire total will be 400, right? So this is what it is mentioned. You have to find the total marks, and it is mentioned the maximum marks of each subject is 100. Then you have to calculate percentage of mark obtained by the student. Thereafter, it is said that you have to create a comment. Like if the student has scored less than 150, then you have to create a comment as work hard. Then you have to find the highest marks scored by the student in each subject. Okay. And then find the highest total marks in each subject. Find the average marks in each subject. Find the average total marks and average percentage of marks. Now, here a demo is given here. Like if you want to find the total, how do you perform that? In order to find the total mark of the students, you have to go to AutoSum. just at the ribbon area under the file tab, under the home tab, if you go, you will find auto sum option. Okay, so just click auto sum. Okay, as you can see in your screen, it will look like this. From there, you click sum option. Okay, you will find sum. Just click sum because the formula to find total is sum. So once you click, it got selected. Okay, as you can see in your screen, the data of the particular student and the marks scored by the student each subject is already highlighted, and you just have to press enter to get the answer. Then students is very important. Now we have reached to a topic where we are going to learn about percentage of mark. What is percentage of mark? Percentage is a number expressed as a fraction of 100. So when a number is expressed as a fraction of 100, we call it as percentage. Now, how do you find percentage of marks obtained? To find percentage, divide the total scores with the marks obtained and then multiply the rest with 100. So whatever the total marks scored by the student, with that you have to divide it with the total subject mark. Okay, and then we will multiply with 100. As it is done here, in the practical, we will learn nicely. Okay, here it is said like percentage of mark obtained by the student is 300, but it is in F2 column. So we have just written F2. Instead of typing F2, you can write 300 also. 300 will type, then we'll put division sign and then 400. Why 400 we have typed? Because there were 4 subjects. Okay, each subject total mark was 400. And so if there are 4 subjects, then entire total will be 400. That's why we have typed 400. Then we have to multiply with 100 and we'll get the answer. Next, we're going to learn how to find the highest mark. Highest means the maximum mark obtained in a subject. Okay, for that you have to go to auto sum and go to max. As you can see in your screen, you have to click the max option because max is the formula to find the highest mark or the maximum mark. And you have to drag because you are asked to find the maximum mark of English subject. So you will select as a whole, okay, entire marks of English subject scored by all students. If you do so and press enter, you will get the highest mark. Okay, like this. Then comes average mark. What does average means? The result we get by adding 2 or more amounts together and dividing the total by the number of amounts. So for that, easy formula is given. Just go to auto sum. Okay, so you don't have to do any manual calculation, neither you have to use the calculator. Easily at the comfort of a click of a button, you can get the solution. So just go to auto sum. After clicking auto sum, there is an option called as average. You will find average. Click average and drag the entire marks of the English subject, okay, scored by all students. If you do so, then among all the students who has scored highest mark in English or sorry, average marks in English, you will get it. Okay, so just press enter. Next, if and else statements. Now it is very important because in one of the topic it is asked that you have to create a remark like who has scored less than 150. You have to create a remark as was work hard. Okay, so in that case we have to use if and else statement. If and else statement is required in case you have to make any decision, like either the answer should be true or else it should be false. Like how do we do that? It is a string of command. Like if and else statement is a string of command that determine whether a condition is met or not. Okay, like here in this question you are asked to find like a student who has obtained less than 150. There only you have to write work hard. So all the students have not scored less than 150, right? Among this, some students might have scored less than 150. So in that case, we cannot just jump to any student and type their work hard. We have to ascertain, okay, with the if and else statements. Okay, just like a yes or no question, if the specified condition is true, Excel returns one user under defined value, and if it's false, it returns another. The if statement is also known as a logical formula, if then else. If something else is true, then do this, else otherwise do that. For example, if it's raining, then close the window, else otherwise leave the window open. So these statements are used when either of the option has to be fulfilled. Okay. If function is used to customize the result of a test. Now, why do you use if statement? This function is used to customize the result of a test. If the test returns true, you can return a specific result like win. So if there is a question of like you have to analyze whether the person has won the game or lost the game. So in that case, you can use the if and else statement to make the decision. The first parameter of the if function is a logical test, and the logical test compares two data. You can have these possibilities. So when there is a logical text and if and statements, there might be the situations like either it should be equal to, these are the condition that we have to set, or else be greater than. So as you know that greater than symbol will be like this, if A is greater than B or A is equal to B. So in that case, if you have to find all this, then you have to use all these expressions. If it is A is lower than B, if it's less than or equal to B, greater than equal to B, okay, so it's different. So these are the conditions that we have to set while finding if and else statements. So students, this part was the theoretical part. Now let's begin our practical part so that you understand today's practical. So as you know, we have to solve uh, an assignment related to students' grades and all. Okay, students' marks were given, and we were asked to find total percentage and create a remark, find maximum and minimum. So let's fill the question first. First name, I mean name of the student is given. Then subjects names are given one by one. First subject name is English. Then is maths. Next is science. Next is social studies. Then we have to create percentage. Right. Just extend the size of the cell percentage because it has exceeded the limit of the cell size. Then you have to create a remark. Okay. I'm just filling the illustration topics, texts. I mean, first name of the student is Aman Sharma. Now, as you can see, it has exceeded the length of the size. So what we'll do is we'll click here and we'll extend through the help of the mouse. Then the second student name is Seema Tyagi. Next, Pooja Sharma. Next, Damini Sen. Next, Rashmi Bedi. Okay. Students, here in this illustration, the names of only 5 students are given. Okay. So when we'll do practically in any office, if you have to find the record of any students in any institutions, then you might have lot of records of students. Okay, there might be long list of students. So here I'm just solving one illustration where it contains only 6 students details. So first student Aman Sharma, he has scored 70 marks in English. Next in maths he has scored 76. In science he has scored 67. And in social studies he has scored 87. Similarly, Seema Tyagi, next student, has scored 60 marks in English, then 65 in maths, 42 in science, and 49 in social studies. Similarly, Pooja Sharma has scored 30 marks in English, next 33 in maths, then 45 in science, and 32 in social studies. Next comes Damini. She has scored 87 marks in English, again 82 in maths, 90 marks in science, and 82 in social studies. Then comes Rashmi Bedi. She has scored 56 in English, 67 in maths, 78 in science, and 89 in social studies. All right. The point here is to teach you like how to find the total marks. So uh, I misplaced one thing, like percentage of marks I have written, but I forgot to type total marks. So how do we type? In case, suppose you have already written your text and afterwards you came to know there should be one more column. So I need to add one more column here. Okay. So how do I do this? Just follow nicely. In case if this requirement come, you can easily create one more column in between the columns. So how do you do this? Just right click over there. After right clicking, you have to click insert. Once you click insert, then you click entire column, because we need column here. Click. Okay. So we got one more column, right? So here we type total, because I forgot to type the total text. So I have added one more column here. Okay. Next, here we have to find minimum, maximum, okay, and also average. Okay. So students, now we are going to find total. So total formula is sum, and where do we get that? We get this through auto sum. Just follow the way I do. Just go to auto sum, and from there you click sum option. If you click sum, you can see that entire data got selected. What the data contains? The data contains the marks of the students named Aman Sharma. So it is highlighted automatically the marks of the students score. I'm sorry, the Aman Sharma's entire score in all the subjects. Press enter. We got the answer. Okay. Similarly, to find the total marks of Seema Tyagi, click there and go to auto sum. Okay, and just press enter. We got the answer. Again, go to auto sum, click sum. But this time the selection is not done correctly, right? As you can see in your screen. So by default, sometimes the software selects correctly. Okay, it selects the data correctly, but sometimes it doesn't select correctly. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to drag with the help of your mouse. Now, as you can see, Pooja Sharma's entire marks is located here. So you have to drag from here till here. Okay, and you have to press enter. As simple as this. Just go to auto sum. Again, you can see this selection is not done correctly, isn't it? So Damini Sen's total marks we have to find. Damini Sen's marks score is given here. So just drag from here till here, because you have to drag the data for which you have to find the solution. Then comes Reshmi Bedi. Go to auto sum, click sum, drag Reshmi Bedi's marks. As I said, students, sometimes the software selects the data correctly. So you have to observe. If it selects correctly, fine. If it doesn't select correctly, then you have to select your own data. Okay. Next comes percentage of marks. So as I said, percentage means when we divide with when a number is in fraction form, then we call it as a percentage in the fraction of 100. So students, you can write down the formula to find percentage of marks. Percentage of mark equal to total marks obtained by students divided by total subject marks, and it will be multiplied with 100. Okay. So the total marks, first of all, you have to find what total mark student has obtained. With that, you have to divide the total subject mark. For example, suppose in particular subject, the total mark is 100. Out of that 100, student has obtained 90. Okay. Then total mark obtained by student will be 90 and total subject mark will be 100. And then you have to multiply with 100. For your easy understanding, I will type here. Suppose in a particular subject, the total mark scored by the student is 90. Then you have to divide it, and the total subject mark is 100. Okay, then you have to multiply with 100, because we have to find percentage. Okay, so like that we have to find. So here again we have to find the percentage. What is the formula? Equal to, and what it is written? Total marks obtained by students. So students, while typing the formula, don't type the text total mark obtained by student. You have to find, you have to type the value, okay, the number that the student has scored, the marks that the student has scored. Okay, you have to type in digit form. You don't type in text form, because Excel cannot calculate any text. It always calculates digits. So after putting equal sign, what is the marks obtained by the student? As you can see, the marks, total mark obtained by student is 300. Then put division sign from your keyboard. What is the total subject mark? Since there are 4 subjects, so entire total subject mark is 400. Then you have to multiply with 100 because we are finding percentage, right? So 75% he has scored. Equal sign next. Uh, what is the student total mark? The total mark of student is 216 divided by total subject mark. Every time it will be 400 because there are 4 subjects. Okay, then you have to multiply with 100. Again, put equal sign. Then Pooja Sharma's total mark is how much? 140. Divided by total subject mark is how much? 400. Multiply with 100. Then Kamini Sen total mark is how much? 341. Divided by total subject mark is 400. Multiply with 100. Then Rashmi Bedi total mark is how much? 290. Divided by what is the total subject mark? 400, as you know, since there are 4 subjects. Multiply with 100. Enter. So if you do so, you can get the percentage. Now we have to create a remark. Okay. So I'll show you the question. In the third question, it is mentioned that if total mark obtained, now if and else condition, when any question related to if and else is there, then you have to use the if and else statement, as I have already covered in the theoretical part. Okay. So it said that if total marks obtained by each student is less than 150, then you have to create a remark as work hard. Okay. So I'll do this. So you have to use if and else statement. So I'll just increase the size for your easy understanding so that you can observe nicely. Okay, you type equal to if, then you have to put a bracket. Okay, because we have to find if and else statements. The condition is if the student has scored less than 150. So it said that if total mark is less than 150. So the condition I will type here. Well, to if, because there is no ready-made formula, you have to create with if and else condition. If total mark is less than, this is called as less than 150. This is the condition, right? Then you have to put comma. What it is said, if the total mark obtained by student is less than 150, then within double quote you have to write work hard. Okay, else if it's if less than 150 score, work hard, else you can put the condition good. Because you might have seen in mark sheets some remarks are given based on the performance of the student, right? So then after closing the bracket, because you open the bracket means you have to close the bracket. Okay, and in this way you have to type, but here you don't type total marks. So instead of total, this is the formula, but instead of total mark you have to find the value of the total mark. Understood? Because Excel cannot calculate tax, it calculates digits. So this is the condition that you have to set. Instead of total mark, this is for your reference, I have written the formula, you can write down in your copy. But while solving the solution, instead of total mark, you will write the mark scored by the student as total. Okay. So solve. Let me solve this. If total mark, what is the total mark? Total mark is 300 for Aman Sharma. 300. We have written. Okay. Instead of F2, you can type 300 also. Doesn't matter. If it's confusing, then you can automatically type 300 because this is his total mark. Then you have to put the less than sign. Okay, less than sign. Let's see whether I put the less than. Yes. Less than how much? 150. Let me show you the question once again. This is the question. This is the question, right? If total mark obtained by each student is less than 150, then you have to create the comment as work hard. So less than 150, comma, within double quote, you have to type work hard. Else the condition you can type that the student, sorry. equal to if total mark scored by student is 300 less than 150, comma within double quote, it is safe to type work hard. Else you can type good. Okay? And press enter. So why it came good? Because the mark scored by the student is less is more than 150, right? So it is more than 150. So that's why it came as good. If it is less than 150, then or there only you have to type work hard. So equal to if total mark the student next student is 216, the condition is less than 150, comma within double quote it is said to type work hard. So in this way you have to type the formula. Okay, else good. Okay, then again equal to if total mark obtained by the next student is 140. Okay, Puja Kaur, it's 140. Puja Sharma, sorry, less than 150, comma within double quote is said to type work hard as a comment if the score is less than 150, else good. Bracket close, enter. Here it is work hard because why it came? See, I have not typed anything. I have typed the formula. From the formula itself, we came to know this student score is less than 150. That's why it is the comment has the comment is the comment automatically will be set here. Work hard. Okay. So this sort of formula is required when there is a long calculation. Okay. So students, we might think by observing also we can type automatically who has scored uh, less than 150. Okay, instead of typing the formula, but this formula is given to you in this illustration. It contains very less data, but in big organization there may be lengthy data. Okay, long records will be there, records will be there. In that case you have to use the formula to make your work easier. In that case you cannot search and keep your eye constantly on data and search who has scored less than 150. Okay, like that, because there might be thousands lakhs of data. So in that case you can use this formula. Again equal to if bracket if total mark, uh, instead of this, if you find it confusing you can write 341 also, less than 150, comma within double quote work hard, else good. Bracket close, enter. One mistake was there. Okay. Okay, so here also it came good because it is more than 150. Again the last formula is that equal to if bracket, as you can see in your screen, total mark scored by student is 290 less than 150, comma within double quote work hard, else good. Bracket close, press enter. Okay. Okay. So suppose if you have typed only one formula, with that also we can get the answer. I'll just show you one way. Suppose I have not typed anything. Okay. So again and again I have typed only to teach you how to use the formula to yeah, how to use the if and else statement to get the result. Okay. Suppose here once again I am typing the formula equal to if total marks scored by the first student is 300 less than 150, comma double quote, the condition is work hard, else good. Okay, make it close, press enter. So good, we got the answer. Now take the cursor pointer over here. The cursor will attain like this shape. Okay, as you can see, the cursor will attain like this plus shape. Drag from here till here. So automatically it will come. Okay. So, okay. Since I have already typed the formula, so it's not showing. So in case if you type one formula, okay, and automatically drag it, you will get the solution. So like this, if you do, you will get the solution. Like who has scored more than 150 and who has scored less than 150, because the condition was set like this. So there is an easy way also to find out the solutions. Like one formula we will set and we will get the record of the other students. Okay, automatically. So since we have already typed the formula, so it's not showing. So next class I will show you how to easily calculate the rest of the formula with the drag option. Okay. All right. So now let's solve minimum marks. Here it is said that you have to find the minimum, maximum, and average of each subject. Okay. So click min. Click minimum here, because in each subject means here you have to click. So go to auto sum. From auto sum you click min, because min is the formula to find the minimum, and you have to drag from here till here. If the selection is done correctly, just press enter. Okay, then here minimum, go to auto sum, click min, okay, and drag from here till here and press enter. Got the answer? Now for science subject, go to auto sum, click min, and drag from here till here, because the selection is not done correctly. Students, once again I'm telling you, you have to drag correctly. You have to see whether the data got selected correctly or not. If not, you have to select it, press enter. Okay. Similarly for the fourth subject, again go to auto sum, click min, drag from here till here and press enter. You got the solution? Okay. Now come maximum. Go to auto sum, click max, drag from here till here, because out of this data, out of the entire marks scored by the students in English subject, okay, particularly English subject, you have to drag all the marks scored by all students and press enter. So out of that, which student has scored a maximum mark, it will automatically display in your screen. Next comes maths. So click max and drag from here till here and press enter. Now comes for some subject. Science subject cell is here. So click here. Go click max. Max is the formula to find the maximum. Drag the data of the science subject. Press enter. Okay. So highest mark is 90. Now again go to auto sum. Click max. Drag the data of the social studies subject. Press enter. Okay. Now comes average. To find the average, go to auto sum, click average and drag from here till here. Okay, and press enter. So 60.6 is the average score of the marks. Go to auto sum and click average and drag from here till here. Press enter. Again click here, go to auto sum, click average, drag from here till here and press enter. Okay, again go to social studies, go to auto sum, click average and drag from here till here and press enter. So we have at last completed the solution. Completed the illustration. We have solved it. Okay. So in case if you have to highlight your data, if you have to format your data, you can easily format it. Okay. Okay. So since this field is for work hard, you can color it into red. Okay. And the mark score also is very less. Percentage of mark is also very less. So this fields you can color differently. Okay. So Among this, the among the maximum score in a science subject, the score is highest. Okay, so in that case also you can color. So you can use all these formatting features to edit your document in a better way, to edit your file in a better way. Okay, I hope you understood today's topic, where you have we have calculated the total marks of the student. We have found the percentage scored by the student. We have created a remark with if and else statement. We have found the minimum, maximum, and average. Okay, so that's all for today, students. Have a nice time. Thank you.